According to the latest data from Swiss Sustainable Finance, Switzerland has committed 85 billion Swiss francs to impact, out of a total of 7,200 billion Swiss francs in financial assets, so less than 1%. Globally, it is estimated that more than $1,000 billion are invested in impact. This clearly indicates that Swiss institutional investors and pension funds in particular have not yet entered the game. For institutional investors, impact investing, impact finance, is, however, one of the 4 demands of the EU, alongside with decarbonation, engagement, and transparency. Jérôme, what is the state of the impact investing market for pension funds?
At first, thank you for the kind invitation, Elsa.
You're welcome.
We are very pleased to be here and share with you what we do at the CPEG. The state of the impact investing market, for us, it's today very fragmented and heterogeneous. We can invest with an intention of having an impact in all asset classes. Today, a part of CPEG portfolio is already invested with this intention, but only mainly through 2 main asset classes, green bonds and microfinance. But what we're talking about today, the program we plan to launch with the European Investment Fund, is in the private market field, and particularly in the venture capital investments. And we think that in this particular area, we can have a really concrete impact with our investments. For example, the capital allocated to a technology needed for the energy transition will benefit society as a whole. And we think at CPEG that it's our responsibility to use the pension savings to improve the well-being of the population. Of course, it's not the primary goal of the pension fund. We must at first fund the pension, and to do that, we have to deliver a return. But we truly believe that in this area of venture capital, we can hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Sorry for the environmental unfriendly expression, but I mean that we think that we can deliver a really attractive return combined with the really concrete impact. We also think that it's not a fashion or a marketing argument, but impact investing is a trend that will last for the next decades. And for all these reasons, I think that pension funds or investors like us should really consider such investments today.
And why is the public-private partnership so important then?
The program we have is the public-private partnership with the European Investment Fund. I should tell a few words about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the investment arm of the European Union. The share owners of the EIF are the EIB, or European Investment Bank, and the European Commission. And the goal of this fund is to support the development of the economy in Europe. So it's in fact, the European Investment Fund is a fund of funds in the field of the venture capital funds.
Okay, it's one of the major investors actually in
exactly,
impact.
It's the largest impact investor in the world today. So why a public-private partnership? We see 3 main advantages. The first one is that public investors like the EIF have been investing in impact financing for many years now. It means that today a solid process is already in place, and for investors like us, it avoids us starting this type of investment from scratch. So we can benefit all the expertise of the public investors. So that's the first advantage. The second one is that by doing so, we are sure that our investment will be compliant with the policy requirements. In the case of the EU, partnering with the European Investment Fund means that our investment will be compliant with the taxonomy, for example. And by co-investing with the government, the legal system is on our side. And the third one is that our investments are somehow protected by the government, both in terms of financial investment and implementation. For example, if a new source of energy is created, governments will make it rapidly accessible. And this new source of energy doesn't come in competition with other existing source of energy. Yes, that's the three advantages. Yes, to sum up, yes, of course, I didn't say this one, but another advantage is the access to strategical impact investment opportunities. So it's an advantage. And the three
and
other...
the methodology, because the European Investment Fund has developed a tailor-made methodology.
Exactly. Their methodology is very interesting for us. And their expertise, of course. And
we will come in a minute with the specificity of the project that the CPEG has launched. But before, maybe, what are the constraints for making impact, and how do you go around them?
Again, we can invest with an intention of having an impact across various asset classes, and constraint may depend on the asset classes. But in the private markets, and particularly in the venture capital investment, diversification is key. We have to diversify our investment as much as possible. And I'm talking about regional impact project diversification. Yes, and of course, as I already said, we have to deliver a return at least in line with our investment strategy. Yes, it's obvious, but the return is very important for us. And we need an experienced asset manager with strong sourcing capacities, a proven track record, an ability to manage large-scale projects, and an alignment with the fee structure. Yes, all these features are required for all asset managers in the pension fund, specifically for those working in impact financing. And the impact measurement is also a constraint, because we need to be sure that our investments will have a really concrete impact, and we'll have to report on this impact. It means that impacts has to be quantified. And another constraint I see is to be clear about what impact we want to achieve with our investments, or what issue we want to address with our investments. And a pension fund represents many beneficiaries. A board is elected to represent these beneficiaries. And this board has to decide which impact to focus on. And here I'm talking about people with their own value. And this decision could lead to much discussion and debates. The SDGs could help to define a framework, but the choice of which SDG to prioritize could be complicated. Finding a consensus between investors with different values and objectives is a challenge, I think. And but we think that co-investing with the government allows us to get around most of these constraints. Yeah.
Maybe let's focus now on really the program that you want to launch with other pension funds actually in Switzerland. So you will explain a little bit. What are the key features of the impact investing program you want to build?
So the aim of the program we plan to build is to gather other institutional investors together.
How many of them so far? Do you know?
5 to 10, it depends. But the fact is that more money invested with the intention of having an impact means more concrete impact. So that's the scale effect. So
what is the volume of the investments so far that you're planning?
We plan to launch the program with a seed capital of 100 million euro. but this program has to be scalable and able to reach a significant size. But yes, we plan to launch it with 100 million euro. And the question was the key features.
What are the key features of your program?
Oh yes, okay.
You want to build?
And yes, the program will invest in the EIF's fund, and another part of the program will invest in co-investment offered to the program by the fund manager already in the program. Co-investment increase the risk of the program by reducing the diversification, of course, but it allows for a specific impact to be targeted, and it reduces the cost of the overall program, and it enhances the expected return. So the IRR objective will be between 5% and 7%. And we also want to create an advisory committee with a veto right. The advisory committee will be composed of seed investors, and the veto right will be on the fund and co-investment proposed to the program. And this committee will have to agree on common values and then translate these values into impact objectives. And we also want to align the management fees of the program on the achievement of the impact objectives, like Eric do. He told us before that we had the chance to have a GP saying that it's effectively done in the business, and yes, that's it. So that's the key features, and we hope that our initiative with this program will be successful. We think there is today a need to channel private capital toward impact investing. That public partner like the European Investment Fund and investor like us have a common interest in working together, and that's our opportunity today. And of course, you're all welcome to join the syndicates of investors.
Could you name a few investors already, or is
No,
that?
I can't. No.
Okay.
No. It's too early.
It's too early.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will strictly follow your the news and the process.